Greetings and salutations. Larson Halleck here with another corking edition of PUAssholes. Today, we are looking at Ross Quigley. Literally who, you might be asking? Not this guy. Not that guy either. Apparently, the Ross Quigley we're looking at wrote exactly one book and has no pictures at all. Seeing as I don't have a picture of Ross Quigley, I will represent him with, this. That book was Beautiful Women Prefer Nerds, which, yeah, that's some flagrant false advertising. Perhaps women like an intellectual, but nerd and intellectual are very different things. Anyway, since I basically couldn't find any information on him with my intensive 10 minutes of research, let's just get to it. Right or wrong, when women in advanced industrialized societies fall in love, they choose men in order of height, status, physical attractiveness, and lastly, financial security. Well, he's not entirely wrong here. Or to put it another way, meh 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 hypergamy and all that. And then chapter 1 starts with a homework assignment. Oh boy. He invites us to imagine a man named Anson, and then he talks about Hakeem, and then talks about Hakeem, and Hakeem, and Hakeem. Man, Hakeem's really beta. Anyway, here we see the first problem I have with this. Ross seems to be under the impression that there's one programmed answer for each of these scenarios, and he judges your pickup mastery based off that. Also, a 100% score gives you the gigolo rating. I've never seen anybody earnestly refer to themselves as a gigolo, and if I ever did, I'd probably punch them in the face. He then goes on to explain that both men and women have unrealistic expectations, which is indeed true. But then again, I say that about a lot of these guys, don't I? I feel like I get pretty conciliatory with most of these guys in the early going, before they get on the express train to Failure Town. He also talks about how damaging loneliness is, very true, and his cure for that is possibly join an online community. Wow. How old is this book? Oh, 1999, I see. Well, let's just say things have changed a lot in 20 years. The cure for loneliness is totally joining an otherkin forum. On page 30, we start to get short-term strategies for getting women. Strategy 1. Play to the popular stereotype. Oh boy, faking it until you make it. There's some truth to that, I guess. But you can ask Tucker Max about how long that lasts. 10 surefire ways to increase your popularity. Wear platform shoes and bulky clothing in the chest. I know that most of these PUAssholes don't attribute much acuity to women, but do they honestly think that these women can't see some manlet wearing platform heels and a muscle suit? Women don't have eyes, Larson. Number 8. Never say anything negative about others. Number 9. Never disagree with anybody or say anything that goes against popular thought. Oh yeah, women love submissive yes men. He does have some good ideas in the how to make yourself not popular suggestion. Having poor hygiene, not making eye contact, and hanging out with losers will indeed do wonders for your involuntary celibacy. Chapter 6. Buying gifts for their love. He details how schlubs and losers used to throw gifts and money at women in hopes of picking them up, and he agrees with me that that is a mistake. That's rule number 1. The only person who appreciates your gifts is the person who is in love with you anyway, without the gifts. What happens if you try to win someone over who doesn't already like you? That's rule number 2. If he takes 2 steps forward, don't trust him because he wants something from you. If he takes 2 steps back, he's a jerk. You see, he didn't get what he wanted, and now he's acting like a jerk. And that's actually some good advice. Chapter 7. Great pickup lines. Oh, here we go. I looked at her straight in the eyes. Then I put one hand on her shoulder and I said, "You're too young for me, but I like you anyway." Then she tried to walk away, but I held onto her shoulder and said again, "Hey, look. You're too young for me, but I like you. I really like you." She avoided me the rest of the night, but then she forgave me for that, and eventually we became friends and then boyfriend and girlfriend. I have my doubts about that. Then he gives 5 surefire instant ways to increase your charm, which are actually pretty good. You know, be in a positive attitude, look clean, stay in a situation where you have high status, so, don't get rid of all your loser friends. Make small talk, listen, and dress well. First date strategies. Eye contact is overrated. Yeah, no. As an ex-beta male that used to look down at his shoes, holy shit, do not do that. Maintain eye contact. And with Chapter 18, Marrying a Foreign Woman, I realized that this book was indeed written before the Y2K scare. Internet dating is this new, fantastical thing. Yeah, so that was Ross Quigley's One Offering, a thoroughly mediocre dating book, with a little good advice and a lot of bad advice. And frankly, considering Ross Quigley may or may not actually exist, I'm going to wager that most of that good advice was copied from other people. I'm Larson Halleck, and keep on training.
And now a word from our sponsors. Hey folks, are you a fan of Larson Halleck and the Barbaric Gentleman? Of course you are, otherwise you wouldn't be watching. Do you want to help me out somehow? If so, here's how you can give me money. You can go to patreon.com/Larson Halleck and give me some money. Or you can donate to me via PayPal, paypal.me/Larson Halleck. Or buy my book. Otherwise, visit my Gab, my Twitter, and keep watching the videos.